Today on Knife Banter, we have got David here again. We are doing his second fixed blade collection video. Yeah, I struggle with the same Utah accent.
It's its own language.
It's a little mumbly, a little bit of, it's kind of weird.
I'm not gonna lie. The entire reason I bought this knife was because of the name.
Because of the name.
And then once I did, I really grew to like the knife a lot.
Howdy folks, sorry to interrupt. I want to talk to you about Continue Mission Utah. Continue Mission Utah, if you don't know, is a nonprofit program for veterans and service members for mental health awareness and suicide prevention. As a veteran myself, I really appreciate the platform that Continue Mission Utah and the Blade HQ have come together and provided us so we can donate money to this important event and this important program. Folks, go to the link below. Check out the website there. Donate what you can. In the knife community, we are giving people. We really are. We're amazing people, the knife community. And I want to thank you. As a veteran, I want to thank you for all the donations you're willing to provide. And for the fellow veterans here at Blade HQ and our brothers and sisters out there in the veteran community, thank you for your donation.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Knife Banter. We have got David back on the show to do his second fixed blade knife collection video. Good to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
The funny part is we're actually filming this right after the first video. And then, guys, there may or may not even be potential for a third video. He has quite a few more knives than what we are going to show within the first and second video. So, make sure you guys, down in the comments, leave us a note. If you want us to keep going with David's collection and hit up some folders and see what else he has, jump down in the comments. Let us know, like, subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos coming up. And yeah, let's just jump into it. We got more fixed blades.
Let's go.
Excellent. Let's do it.
What do you got?
Okay, got very first thing, a Morakniv Garberg. I have not been able to put this one through its paces too much yet, but I think everybody should have one of these. Like, it's so stout and so inexpensive for like such an awesome knife and how much knife you get out of it. Has a wicked Scandi grind.
So we recently did kind of a survival knives thing, and we went out in the woods and we tested and we worked hard. And it is such a cool knife.
Yeah,
well, we had the
fantastic.
high carbon black. Yeah.
Man, that thing struck a ferro rod. Bam, man, it was one of the best strikers we had.
Yeah, it was throwing sparks.
You know, it was fun to work through with the Mora because we worked it to death.
Good.
We worked that thing to death. So you haven't worked this one yet?
Not yet. And see, I have the stainless version, which is 14C28N, which is supposed to be just insanely tough. But then also stainless, so
yeah,
hopefully won't get corroded and stuff. But yeah, I really want to see like really how much it can take.
Guys, if you have held a Morakniv before, they're pretty light. Like that, I think that's what they're going for. They want something that is a stout fixed blade that can take a beating, but also it's almost like it's not there, packing it around. The Garberg is a little heavier, not heavy by any means, but there's a little more weight there because the thickness of the blade. And you were talking about the Scandi grind on this. It's pretty aggressive.
And it comes right out of the box wickedly sharp. I mean, dangerously sharp.
I carved some of my spoon with the Mora.
Did you?
Yep, with the Morakniv. Now, the funny thing is they make...
Almost dropped that, my bad.
The Morakniv, they make multiple sizes of these things too. Tons of different sizes. So if you're not into the, whatever, 5-inch blade or whatever it is, you can drop all the way down. I think 3, I can't remember what we were looking at the other day, but yeah, anyway.
Absolutely. I like that one a lot.
Lots of options.
One's cool. Plus, it's a knife that you can beat on, and I mean, this one, the Garberg, is a little more We actually have it on the website for $80. With the stainless steel, it's just a little over it's like 4 1/4 inch blade.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, like you said, there's a bunch of different styles and sizes and colors. And the Garberg, like I said, is a little more expensive, but you can get these Morakniv fixed blade for like 12 to 15 bucks.
That's why you get the Mora, because you can go all the way down. You can afford to beat it up, and you can afford to replace it if you have to.
Absolutely.
If you have to.
Yep.
Anyway.
Cool. What's next?
So this is a Buck General 120, which I bought this thing quite a while ago. But this is like the 119 Special, just bigger, longer.
Bigger.
Yeah.
And bigger.
Really, this one I bought before. This is one of the first knives I had in my fixed blade collection. And I bought it before I knew a lot. I still think it's amazing, but it's maybe more of like a big game processing kind of knife and not so much like a bushcrafty. It'll hold up, it's great.
Right.
But this one with the hollow grind and stuff was more of just like super sharp, like great for that kind of
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
I like that big clip. That's a big old clip point.
That is like a Crocodile Dundee kind
It
of knife.
really
it's
is.
right. It's near there at least. It's near there.
That's not a knife.
This is
That's
not.
a knife. The Bucks are classic. Really cool. I love that it's the 120, a little bigger.
Yeah.
That's fun, man.
And they do come in 420, but the way they heat treat, that knife has done really well. Like a lot better than I would have thought out of 420.
Right.
It holds an edge really well. Obviously not as good as like my S35 knives or something like that, but it really does a fantastic job, and it's pretty easy to sharpen.
That's a classic. I mean, a Buck 110, and then you go to the 120.
Yeah.
I mean, it only makes sense.
119,
right?
120.
Mathematically, it makes sense, folks. No, but it's a Buck knife. It's a classic, dude. It's a classic fixed blade.
Yeah,
I'm
and
just gonna put it away here.
And it's really just, like I said, like a 119, which is a household knife, basically.
Right.
But just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I love it. Guys, this one comes in just over a 7-inch blade. It's about a 7 1/4-ish. Amazing leather sheaths, actually, from Buck. I wanted to point that out. Sometimes you get a leather sheath that isn't quite the right quality of leather.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
That's a good way.
That's a great way of putting it.
But Buck, they really put the time and effort into not only the fit, the finish, the beauty, but the leather and everything else. And for a Buck 120, you can buy it for $1, aka $100.
Yes, you can.
No, that's a cool knife. That's super fun.
I do want to mention too that they actually have an upgraded version. You can now get that knife in S35.
Oh, yes. That's right.
Yeah, and we do have them.
Yeah. Check out the website.
I like that. I like it. Sweet. What's next?
This is a Bradford G-necker. This is just a little tiny, my hand barely fits on it, but it's so small and I can everyday carry it easy. But what I like so much about it is it's LMAX, which I really like LMAX. I think it's a cool steel. And it's a nice, stout, thick little knife.
It's thick. Dude,
Yeah,
for a small fixed blade knife, this thing,
That's 3C's thick.
that's a beefy boy.
Right.
That is a beefy tank for a little tiny knife.
And I thought was kind of clever. They make the handle wider, and then they just narrow up the blade a little bit as you go along, so you can have more to hold on to.
I was just going to comment on that.
Yeah.
I was literally going to comment on how they have the thicker blade stock.
Yeah.
Then they just narrow it down for the blade.
So you don't have this big, overly wide
Yep.
blade, but you have enough handle to hold on to.
That's a cool knife.
Right?
I love how much material you get with such a, I mean, it's a necker. it's a neck knife, a small enough fixed blade that you can conceal it in multiple different places on your person, and you get a lot for what you pay for.
I've always felt that way about Bradford, though. I felt like for the materials I was getting and the knife quality I was getting, that I wasn't paying a lot for how much I was getting out of it.
Right.
To get an LMAX blade, like, I just expected a lot more expensive knife.
Yeah.
Well, it's a Bradford. I mean, how are we gonna go wrong?
Yeah.
So the necker is just shy of 3 inches. It's really close to 3 inches. We talked about LMAX steel, and you can get different variations. There's some, I think they wrap them in paracord, or maybe not. Maybe it's a different color sheath, but they're right in that $90 to $100 range as well. Which, that's one thing, I know we talked about it in the first video, but a lot of these have a pretty decent price point, especially for what you're getting them for and how you're using them, how often you're using them.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Kind of cool. I'm excited for this next one. I love the name.
I like this knife. I'm not gonna lie. The entire reason I bought this knife was because of the name.
Because of the name.
And then once I did, I really grew to like the knife a lot. But this is the CRKT Clever Girl.
Clever girl.
And I'm a
Clever
huge
Girl.
Jurassic Park fan. Like,
Right?
so come on. I don't know if it was the intention, but that seems a little bit Raptor Claw-ish to me.
Oh, yeah.
And this knife actually is really cool. It's SK5, which can get a little brittle, especially for such a thin knife.
Right.
This one's really thin. So what they did is they lowered the Rockwell hardness on a little bit. I think this one comes in at like 54, 55.
Oh, okay.
Which kind of takes some of that brittleness out of it.
Yeah.
But,
I love the milled scales here.
I feel good.
The G10, it's not overly aggressive. It's actually pretty well contoured, and your hand wraps around it. You get a good purchase because of the deep mill grooves, but towards the top of the scale, it kind of flattens out a little bit. But
a little more comfortable. I love it. I love the name.
who doesn't love a nice Persian sweep?
Yeah,
Right?
Right?
I mean, the Clever Girl, and then you got Medford with their Smooth Criminal. I want to buy a Smooth Criminal just because Smooth Criminal.
What did they do on Jurassic Park? The guy's scaring the little kid, and he's like,
Oh yeah, with the claw, and then it comes over and it just cuts you right here, and he slashes his belly and stuff.
yeah, crazy stuff. I love that. Dude, the CRKT Clever Girl is an awesome knife because of just where the name comes from, but it's actually a really cool knife.
Yeah.
When we were playing with it here before we started, I was gravitating.
Yeah, it's fun. It feels good, and it's surprisingly useful. That is a slicey blade.
Oh,
That's got a big old belly on it. Man, it's made for slicing.
slicey
Everybody
dicey.
knows I love a blade with a belly.
Blade with a belly. That's awesome.
Good sheath too. It holds well. Came with the clip lock.
I like that. Yeah, it's nice to have a big clip lock or something, especially when you're getting into bigger fixed blades, because it gives you a solid lockdown on your belt, or if you have it strapped to a pack or whatever. With a big fixed blade, you need that. You need something that you can grab it and have it be well placed and secure enough that when you pull the knife, it doesn't move. You know what I mean?
Well, I like that because you could put it on your your backpack if you're backpacking up in the sticks or something. You can put it on your strap or somewhere where it's very accessible with the different setup with the belt clips and belt loops and stuff. So
4.5-inch blade, SK5 steel, like we talked about, $80 on the website, guys. It's a cool knife. What else you got?
All right, this one is I don't know if anyone else ever hits this point, but sometimes you just want something that looks totally different, that feels different, that just like, I don't know, I have a lot of fixed blades.
Right.
And so I wanted something that was totally out there. just a few. And this is a Rike F1.
Okay.
And the lines on it are so different than anything else I've had before. Plus, like, if I buy a fixed blade, I want it in a steel that I like. I want it in a useful steel. So even though it looks so crazy, it still comes in CPM D2, which is just better than D2 in every way. It's more corrosion resistant. It's easier to sharpen. It holds an edge longer. It's a little tougher. Just a little bits, but it still is that improvement.
Just a little tiny bit.
And this thing feels amazing.
Yeah.
The ergonomics on there, the finger choil,
crazy.
I found. So at first I look at it, I'm like, what? And I grab onto it, and it fits. It's another one of those knives that doesn't look like it should work, and then it does.
Rike is one of those companies that puts out some stuff that sometimes looks odd, and you look at it and go, I don't know if that would work, but there's something about their delivery. Like, they really do know how to make something that looks different and weird and futuristic, but works, like, is well thought out.
I love all the details to the milling and everything. It's knives like these guys, if you're either into them or you're not, but really what it is it comes down to artistic and being able to have a vision and execute it so precisely that to us, we look at it and it's just knife art.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
You know, again, this is not my jam. This knife is not one that I would personally go out and buy.
You're talking about the extreme design.
But like David said, he's got so many fixed blades that he hit that point where he's like, you know what? I'm gonna get this because I can.
Just to go for it.
just because I can.
And what's interesting about that one, after having it now, is I did feel that way, and now I think about it and hold it and the way it's done, and this is a knife I could carry and use.
Yeah,
I feel confident in that.
It's a slicey. It's a slicey.
I really like that. Right there around 5 inches, we talked about CPM D2. I think this one comes in right around $135. That's a very interesting pick, especially compared to all the other fixed blades.
Yeah, I know.
It's a unique one to the collection.
I want to talk unique. The next one he's got is crazy unique. It's probably my favorite on the table.
So this is one of those knives that I like everything about it. I like what it's made of, how it's designed, who made it. I'm a huge fan of Dawson. They do amazing work. So this knife is unique because this is CPM 3V, but it is differential hardened.
Okay.
The black part that you see on the blade is actually to differentiate. This is hardened upward in the 60 Rockwell zone, and then the spine is left somewhere in the 40s.
Okay.
So not only is it already 3V, which is incredibly tough, and now they've taken it to like that next level of just ridiculous over-the-top toughness. This blade for such a small knife feels so good. The way they do their handles is just incredible. Like, they feel comfortable, even on their small knives. Feels good. And then I like that recurve. It's a little harder to sharpen. It's tough to get in that spot, but man, does it slice so well.
That little
especially
kookery looking thing.
Yeah.
Tiny little thing.
I think this thing is so unique, you know?
It really is.
The whole shape, the different little grooves cut into the G10.
And there's something about Dawson as a company, they are a good company. I like that they're a small knife company, but
I love the small knife guys.
It's been a multi-generation owned company. They're really cool. They do a great job.
Dude,
Isn't that jimping at the tip?
At the jimping on the tip here.
I was just going to point that out.
Detail stuff.
These are guys who use knives. Like, you know, you can tell a company that the guys want to carry the knife they make, and Dawson, I believe, is one of those.
Oh,
dude, and even for a 3 inch, it's right around 3 inches, 3-inch blade, the curve, like, if I really had to like go out and like chop down, prune some bushes, whatever, dude, you could get that going.
Yeah.
Well,
You get that good pull down grip.
Yep,
I mean, just
absolutely.
thinking about it, I mean, if you're dressing out a small animal, look at the hunting aspect of it. If you're dressing out a small animal or
That
something,
big old belly.
you know, would I choose this one to do the job if I had a choice? No, but if you had to,
Oh yeah, well,
You know?
and not only that, but it's the knife can do it, and it would be a good knife just because of blade shape, sharpness, the 3V. Dude, that's really cool about the steel.
I
Actually.
don't know of anyone else who differential hardens 3D, and how they figured that out, I don't know, because it can't have been an easy process.
If you guys know of anybody else that does a differential heat treat, jump down in the comments. Let us know because we're just as interested as you.
Absolutely.
yeah, it's one of my favorites on the
It's a
table
great
right
knife.
now.
I carry it a lot.
Yes, you
cool.
do actually. What are you carrying today? Doink!
So that
It's
is
a
the
Dawson.
Dawson Pequeno. Pequeno?
I've always called
Pequeno?
it Pequeno, but then again, I mean, as everybody knows, my enunciation and pronunciation is definitely Central Utah, so it's very difficult sometimes.
Yeah, I struggle with the same Utah accent.
it's its own language.
It's a little mumbly,
too.
a little bit of, it's kind of weird. But guys, you can get the Dawson. It's $185 on the website. Like we said, 3V with the differential heat treat and 3-inch blade. Okay, so now those are the ones that at the time we're shooting this video that they're on the website. You can purchase these. These last two are honorable mentions.
Yes, sir.
They are not in stock.
The first one will be a Benchmade SOCP.
I love it.
I know a lot of people have seen these and not gotten a chance to hold up. We've talked a lot about them before I bought it.
Right.
They're like, there's no way that's comfortable. Like, there's no way that's usable. It is surprisingly comfortable for what it is. Like, it actually fits right. The ring is in the right place. I really like the sheath. Benchmade does this leather thing. This is
that's
just
cool.
This is like how Benchmade does stuff,
Yeah.
right? So when it's sitting on you, it's not poking you.
I like that.
Yeah, it keeps it from stabbing, and you know right where to touch. It indexes you.
Inside
and
the
pull it out.
waistband or boot or something. Yeah, definitely. Again, those aren't my jam, but I'll tell you what, if you're looking for like a boot knife or like inside the waistband,
Absolutely.
like I guess an office setting, I don't know, that might be a good one.
Well, in a quick defense, to have a ring and have something that you can grip and hold on to is worth.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
let's be
weight in
honest, that's
gold,
made for
you know?
one thing.
I mean, I've known a handful of police officers that they use this kind of stuff or military
Yep.
as almost more as like a close quarters defense
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
tool.
Absolutely, when people are up close and you can't go to the gun.
It's like a last ditch,
Yep.
It's a quick go-to that you can get off your person within
100%.
this area,
Yeah.
you know,
Quickly and
or off
easily.
your belt type of thing.
Keep it in your vest or off your belt or under your, like I say, in the waistband or whatever.
And the sheath really does work. Like it makes it easy to draw the knife. Like it makes it really instinctual.
Yeah, it does. It draws really well.
And then also on the lower part of the sheath, they have this clip. So even when you're drawing, there's not so much where you're gonna pull the sheath out with it.
Oh yeah,
actually
it's
clips.
curled underneath, so it locks onto your pants or belt.
Absolutely. Yep. It's just really well thought out, but I think that's how Benchmade does stuff. They really.
I feel like this one is also slightly unique to your collection.
It is. Again, you kind of like, this is one I bought a little bit later after I had a few other knives.
Yeah.
It was different.
It's a cool piece.
Yeah.
It's a way cool piece. Okay, last knife on the table. What do we got?
So this one is unique, and this one I'm really proud of. I like it. It's one of my newer acquisitions. This is from a company called Wander Tactical, and they are out of Italy.
Oh, okay.
They make really heavy-duty, big, thick
Look how
D2 knives.
Out
That
of
is
rails
so
from a
thick.
train.
Yeah. It is, so almost every knife in their lineup is a 1/4 inch thick.
Look at that.
crap.
Yeah, I mean, it is a hefty knife, but it feels remarkably well. It has a sheath that is well overbuilt.
Super cool sheath.
It really is. Like, you have the option to slip it out, so you can just do a scout carry. You have this
Man.
big loop. It's a great sheath.
This feels SE5 thick.
Yeah.
This is a
Yes.
big boy
Yes,
right
it
here.
is. The finish is amazing, too. That finish, as it wears
It
in,
really
stays
is.
with the knife.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, so if you notice on the jimping on the back,
yeah.
it's incredible. I don't know how they do it, but they do a fantastic job.
That's really cool. Dude, you gotta try this thing out.
You know, I was playing with this. When he bought this, he comes in, dude, look what I got. And I was like, and then, you know, and I'll turn it on its back so people can see how thick that spine is. If you look at that back end there, I mean, you just see how thick that thing is.
Is it micarta scales?
Yes, it is. It certainly is. It's natural micarta. They do a really unique set of grooves. On there.
Yeah, you can see that.
It
It's very-
almost looks random. In fact,
Right.
the company names a lot of their knives after dinosaurs, like the
Oh, yeah,
raptor,
cool. Yeah.
the triceratops and stuff. And so I think they're going very much for like that raw. In fact, the finish is called raw. I
Really?
believe this one is. They have a few different ones that are like, I think they're going very much for like a almost like prehistoric kind of
Yeah.
I love it.
edgy, but it's really cool. It's a great knife. It is big and heavy, but such a functional shape.
When your finger's up in that choil, they have this little thumb.
Yeah,
Placement.
it's got this place where you can still get on the jimping, but you can also come up a
Scooch
little
up,
bit
yeah.
on the blade, and there's a little bit of a thumb dip ramp place where you can push a little forward on your with your thumb on the spine of the blade.
If you're doing some heavy duty work or something,
Right.
like some meticulous carving or something.
Yeah, that's cool. The
It's
leather
awesome.
sheath is phenomenal. That's cool. The leather
awesome.
sheath is phenomenal.
That's the thing
Fantastic.
with David's collection. He uses these knives. This isn't a you know, we pulled these knives out of the box.
Right.
So these have been used. They've been carried. I mean, he explains which ones he has and hasn't used much of. And he also takes extreme care of his knives.
Oh, yeah.
He was just telling me how to fix the Falk knife.
Oh, really?
He's like, dude, you want to get those burn marks and stuff out? I'll show you. And I'm like, show me.
Heck
Teach
yeah.
me.
Dude, that's awesome.
From the last video, my bark river looked pretty marred at one point.
Really?
And so I watched videos on how to, get them back because I do like them. Like, I know I don't want them to be pretty necessarily, but I do
Right.
want them. Like, I like taking them back to where they were.
Guys, I love the idea of having David be our knife guru. When we have questions or if there's an interesting steel on the table, I think we should have him come
Yeah.
back
Yep.
and kind of pipe in and give us a little insider look. David has spent a ton of time researching steels and the chemical compound behind each different one, the pros and cons. His knowledge is very vast.
Thank you very much.
It is.
On that note, if I could speak to in our last video, we talked about 3V and A2.
Oh, that's right.
And I did say that A2 had better edge retention. I actually misspoke on that. Really, 3V holds the better in just about every category. A2 is more affordable though.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Tends to be where you say that. So I apologize. I slipped on that one.
Oh,
but-
no, you're good.
Sometimes your brain slips a little bit.
Well,
Mine
I
does.
mean, I don't know how you keep so many knives straight.
Yeah.
I-
Like,
or the
some of
metallurgy behind a lot of it.
I don't.
guys, I love it. If you guys want to see a third video of David's collection, leave us a comment down below. Also, if you see a knife up here that you love, leave us a comment, shout it out. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, because we are going to be doing additional videos with David. Make sure you get those notifications.
Yep.
We'll catch you guys on the next one. Welcome to the end screen. If you guys like this video and other knife content, make sure you jump over, check out the playlists, like, subscribe, and if you want to buy these knives and check out some other really cool knives, jump over to the website, bladehq.com. See you later.